Hello, my name is PonPon, and this is my guide for Habois, God of the Yellow River. Habois, quite simply, is a face melter. He is a very powerful, low cooldown caster that specializes in high AoE burst damage. His goal is to poke you down with his 1 and 3 before finishing you off with his ultimate. He can play in either the mid lane or the jungle. Habois' passive is Steady Flow. Upon casting his skills, he gains a stacking buff that increases his magic power by a percentage of his total. This stacks up to 3 times. This is what makes Habois so deadly. Before major teamfights, it is in your best interest to spam a few of your water cannons to get this to full stacks. His 1 is Water Cannon. This is a low cooldown conal skill shot that deals high AoE damage at a close range. This is Habois' bread and butter skill. With a cooldown of 3 seconds before any cooldown reduction, you'll be spamming this thing. Be careful though, you have to get pretty close to hit anyone with it, which means putting yourself at risk. His 2 is Atlas of the Yellow River. Habois rolls out an Atlas on the ground in front of him, causing allies and himself to be sped up while enemies to be slowed. This is Habois' primary chasing and kiting tool. This can be a great way to stop enemies from escaping your range, or a great way for you or your allies to make their escape. His 3 is Water Spout. Habois targets a ground location and knocks up anyone in the circle. Targets are also slowed for a short duration after they land. This skill is your setup tool. This allows your teammates to collapse on a target, or simply lets you set up your water cannon into an ultimate on a person. A small trick about this skill and other knockups is that knockups will cause people to go in the direction they were last moving. Use this to your advantage in lane, where people have to walk towards you to clear a wave. 3 into 1 is a very common poke tool. His 4 is Crushing Wave. Habois becomes a giant wave, becoming CC immune, mostly untargetable, and deals massive damage to any enemy caught in its way. This is what wins or loses a teamfight. Look for chances to hit multiple people or to finish off squishies with a 3-1 ult combo. You want to also try to have 3 stacks of your passive before you use this, to get maximum damage. As mentioned earlier, you also become CC immune, meaning you can use this to avoid incoming CC that might cause you to die. In terms of how you build him, you want to determine whether you're going mid or jungle. Mid and jungle build similarly, but have different item starts. If you're jungling, you want to start with Bumba's Mask, Hand of the Gods, and a purple magic power potion. This will help you sustain and clear the jungle. His core then becomes Shoes of Focus, Breastplate of Valor, Focused Voidstone, and Polynomicon. This provides you max CDR to spam your skills more, decent survivability, decent pen, and consistent damage from Polynomicon in between skill usage. The only variation I would place on this build is whether you build Breastplate or Focused Void first. Against physical teams, get Breastplate first, otherwise Focused Voidstone first. Finish off your build with 2 of the last 3 items. If you're eating a lot of focus, it is better to stay alive than to build pure damage and die instantly. Pick up Obsidian and then Magi's Blessing. If you can kite effectively and are able to get your skills off, pumping into pure damage will be fantastic. If you can build Obsidian and Rod, you'll be hitting for 1.2k damage on your ultimate against squishies. If you can get away with it, it'll be totally worth it. For mid lanes, the build and advice is the same, just the start is different. Start with Vampiric Shroud, base shoes, and a single health and mana potion. This will allow you to sustain yourself in the lane while also being able to duel any other mid opponents. For actives, you will certainly want beads to ensure no matter what, you at least get your ultimate off in teamfights. Nothing is worse than a dead Hippo that didn't ult. Other good pickups for mid Hippo consist of Aegis or Combat Blink, depending on the matchup. Skill orders won't change from the mid lane to the jungle. From level 1 to 5, you want to go with your 1, 3, 1, 2, and then 4. This gives you good clear and allows for the early pickup of your slow, which can save your life or secure you an early kill. From there, the priority shifts to your ultimate first, Water Cannon second, Water Spout third, and your Atlas last. Now for some super general tips. Your ultimate has a deceptively long range, cast time, and travel time. Take the time to learn how fast it travels and where the hitbox ends. When clearing a wave as Hebo, look to auto-attack the melee minions before they meet your minions. This will push them back into their archers. Done correctly, you can use your 1 to hit the entire wave. This allows him to compete in wave clear with some of the better mids. Since Hebo can jungle, here are some basic tips in a basic route. This is only meant to be used by learning to jungle. As you improve, there are too many variables, tells, and starts that you'll be better served by learning them. I will likely make a video on this in the future. For Hebo, you want to start on the side of the solo laner, the short lane. If that's left, take back Harpies, speed with your solo laner, and then blue before going into lane. You want to then stay in the solo lane until mid Harpies are going to spawn. They spawn at 155, be ready to leave the lane around 140, and fight them for it. From there, look for ganks and clear the jungle as you see fit. If the short lane is in the right lane, take mid Harpies, red, and then blue. Stay in the solo lane until around 125, and then go take your back Harpies or gank middle. Then attempt for the mid Harpies on either side. The main reason for the difference is that with red, you can be way more aggressive. The goal is to push up the lane and leave early to put pressure on the enemy jungler. With speed, you have good mobility, but your damage is lacking, meaning your pressure is lower. To end the video, here are a few examples of fights and ganks. I see right is gankable, so I call for an attack. I lay down my Atlas and slow and knock up areas to further slow him as we chase. Artemis attempts to save his ally with Tusky, but I use my ultimate to avoid being stunned and I pick up the kill on Ares. Guan then chases forward on Artemis under tower, and with the clutch use of my one, I secure the kill. After stealing some of the enemy jungle, I see an opportunity to gank middle with Guan and Ao Kuang. Since I came from the enemy jungle, it was unlikely the path I took was warded. I move forward and chunk Ra with a 1-3, setting up Guan and Ao Kuang to deal their damage and further slow Ra. Seeing Ao Kuang about to ult, I lay down my carpet and Ao Kuang lands an ultimate dead on. Thank you for watching my Ha Bois guide. Hopefully this guide will help you jungle, mid lane, play Heba. I've been playing him a lot lately and he's super fun. If you want to follow, subscribe to this channel. I also stream on Twitch and I have a Twitter, and that should be on the screen. If you have any suggestions for what god I should do next, feel free to let me know. And if you want a concept explained, like how pen works or how to jungle, like the more broad concepts, I'm kind of looking to do those too. So just let me know. Thanks. Goodbye.